Hi guys, my name is Rhys from Media Rocket Studio. I just want to welcome you to this, the first in a series of Whiteboard Wednesdays from Online X, where we will be taking you through some useful information with regards to digital marketing and how it can be better used for your business. You'll come into contact with either myself or a series of other digital professionals who will give you a really nice breakdown on what it means to be successfully digital. In today's first segment, I'm going to be taking you through what is kind of the basis of online media or your online media space that you should be using as a business, and what that kind of looks like. And then as we go into the next sections, I'm actually going to break this out for you so you can get a better idea of what fits into these little bubbles, and also why it's really important not to keep them in silos from each other. So without further ado, what we're talking about here in your online space is what we call the owned, earned, and paid media spaces. So if you are going to be doing any online marketing, advertising as a business, you should be considering a very holistic approach, saying, well, I've got at least these three spaces that I can be working in. So what can I be doing with them? And how can I be engaging my users, my potential customers, any of my stakeholders? But also understanding one of the key premise of digital is that everything works better in combination than it does independently or in silos. So you'll see here in our lovely Venn diagram that we have got these three distinct sections of owned, earned, and paid, but you will also clearly see that they overlap. And I'm going to show you as we go along what falls into each of these sections and why it's important that they interact together. But before we get there, the very first thing is to actually just say, well, what is owned, earned, and paid media online? So for any of you guys who have come into contact with digital, you've done a bit of digital, a lot of what I'm going to say, you'll be like, cool, I've got that, I understand. If you don't, feel free to ask some questions on the video, etc. Or just do a bit of research, but I promise you, once you have that information, contextually, these three items will fall into place. So the first aspect of this, as you can see, 1, 2, and 3, is your owned media. So your owned media are all the things that you have direct control over. Okay, so I have direct control over my website. I can build my website, I can populate it with content, images, etc. I have full control of that. I can set up my own social profiles. I can have a Facebook page, Twitter account, Instagram account. They are my pages as a business, and I am able to manage them, update them, populate them, and use them for my business. All right. So those are my owned positions. So whenever you think about owned, I have direct control over all of this, and I can use it for my business. All right. The second part is your earned position. So for the guys who maybe not specifically in digital marketing, you can think of your earned position as generating brand love, where you want to get people to actually essentially become ambassadors and advocates for you. So you'll hear the term thrown around, oh, I've got a viral campaign, it's viral, I've got people sharing everything. If you get that right, it's great, it's very difficult. But that is the earned portion of digital. It's the ability to turn your audience into your advocates, your ambassadors, and to actually get them to promote and even defend your brand sometimes. Earned is great, it takes a lot of hard work, but once you've got it, if you're a big brand particularly, it's invaluable. All right, now that would be things, for instance, just example, people, users commenting on your Facebook pages, your Instagram accounts, saying, oh, we love you guys, sharing your content on, that's the kind of earned aspect of digital. Now, then right at the bottom here, we've got paid. Now, the easiest way to think of paid is, and don't confuse it with owned, where yes, you're going to pay to build your website, you might pay a strategist or a social media specialist to set up your campaign, your accounts, but you are not paying the media provider for that. When you get into paid, you're going to immediately know about it because someone somewhere is going to say you need to pay or spend X amount of media budget. Then you know you've moved into the paid environment. Okay, so that's cool. That's going to be like your Facebook ads, your Google ads, and what's going to happen is all of this portion here is going to push likely to your owned positions, and they're going to support your business objectives that sit inside there. So remember, paid, you pay a media budget, you spend additional, you're going to be paying a network like Facebook or Google Ads, etc. So whenever you think about using paid, remember it's great that you've got your own, which means you have your Facebook page, you have your website. This is about paying for the right or the ability to get people, get in front of them, and then get them to one of your own positions. Now these, as you will see, will all work clearly in tandem with each other. And as a business, what you're actually aiming for, yes, you're going to work with all of them, but you want this little sweet spot right here, all right? You want to have a really good balance so that you are actually making sure these systems work for you and with each other. Now we're going to break that down in the next few segments, so I'm going to take you through these 3 positions, give you an idea of what falls into them, and then give you some little takeouts on what's really important. So thanks guys for joining, and look out for our next segment.